Okay, here's an interesting question. It's a vector question, and it's a GCSE higher question, and it's one of those questions you get towards the end or at the very end of the paper that very often people get stuck on, or they can't get very far. So let's have a look at this. We've got a diagram, some triangles, and we're given some information. We're given OA as a vector and OB as a vector, and told that M is the midpoint of AB. So let's label what we've got. We've got OA, it's given in the question. So this vector going from O to A is 6 lots of lowercase a. And I'm going to underline my vector so that I know it's a vector and not a scalar. And then OB is 6b. It's a bit busy on this line, so I'm just going to write it over here. That this line here is 6b. Again, underlining my vector. And then M is the midpoint of AB. So M is halfway between A and B. And then it says write OM. So going from O to M in terms of A and B, give your answer in the simplest form. So over here, I'm going to start by having a think about how do we get from O to M? We're going from O to M. Well, we're going along OA is one way we can do this, and then halfway along AB. So let's say that then. It's OA plus a half the distance from the vector from A to B. So first thing I'm thinking about is AB. We need to know what AB is. So let me do that over here. To get from A to B, we're starting here. We're going backwards along there and forwards along there. So AB is minus 6A plus 6B. So therefore, OM equals OA plus a half AB. We can write this out now. OA is 6 lots of A plus a half A to B. A to B is minus 6A plus 6B. So this, I'm going to just write it in the answer space here, is 6A minus 3A is just 3A. And then a half of 6B is just 3B. And that's the answer to the question. That bit's relatively straightforward. Let's have a look at the second part. It now says N is the midpoint of OB. So N is the midpoint of OB. So here to here, N is halfway. And it says G is a point on OM such that OG to GM is 2 to 1. So I'm going to write that in here. Just going to write 2 to 1. So that's the ratio of these two lengths here. And the question says, show AGN is a straight line. AGN is a straight line is what we need to show. Let me get a different color. And I can just, so the line we're thinking about is AGN. It's not quite right on here. There we go. It's that green line on there now. AGN is a straight line. So another way of thinking about this supposed straight line, because G is a common point to the line AGN, then all we need to do is show that AG is parallel to GN, and because it's a common point, they must form a straight line. So we're just going to consider AG and GN. So let's have a think about AG first of all. AG is, well, to get from A to G, we go backwards along here and forwards along here. So it's minus, so equals minus OA plus, it's 2/3 of the way along OM. 2/3 of OM. So because of lack of space, I'm going to write next to it. Here, minus OA. So minus OA is minus 6A. And then we want to add on 2/3 of OM. And OM we worked out in the first part. It's 3A plus 3B. So if we simplify this, we've got minus 6A plus 2A is minus 4A. And we've also got 2B plus the 3's cancel. We're left with 2B. So that's AG. Now we need to think about what GN is. GN, how do we get from G to N? What's another way? So back to the diagram. G to N. So we go backwards along OM and forwards along OB halfway along there. So GN equals, it's minus 2/3 of OM plus a half of OB. Minus 2/3 of OM plus a half of OB. So this again, we've got OM, so minus 2/3 of OM. OM is 3A plus 3B. And OB, we want a half of it, so plus a half. OB is just 6B. This equals, right, the A's first. We've got minus 2A, and then we've got minus 2B plus 3B is plus B in the end. And then if I write AG, the original AG, if I take a factor of 2 out, minus 2A plus B, you can see that these, one is a multiple of the other. One is a multiple of the other. Therefore, EAG is parallel to GN. By these lines, I mean parallel. Therefore, AGN is a straight line. And we're done.